I'm explaining to you, and the classic man is a danger to you. And me too, tatted on my forehead. Go home, go to bed. I dread something you get this way come when the family unit is overrun, when the structure is undone. Some new concoction. Now I walk softly and carry a big stick.
Welcome back to the Franchise Show. Joe Arrigo with TQ.
Yeah, we back in the building, boys and girls.
It's been a busy couple weeks.
Boy, a lot of moving, a lot of drafting.
A lot of drafting. We're going to talk a little bit about the draft. We're going to talk about Manchester United and what they got going on, or what they don't got going on. We're talking about something that I think needs to be talked about with artists and with athletes. And then, of course, I want to start right now with what's happening right here in Las Vegas. So the Raiders, once again, have some drama. Now, on Friday, Raiders president Danny Ventrelle was let go, fired by Mark Davis. This is just days after Jeremy Aguayo, who just came over 7 months ago from Applied Analytics, who's analytical, good with numbers. He left after just 7 months. And then the assistant person in charge of human resources also left. There's 8 people gone in the since July of 2021. So I'm going to ask you this question. You're the resident Raiders fan. TQ, do the Raiders have a problem inside their building?
I don't know. I hope not. I think the city, I think the team, in the short amount of time they've been here, the amount of drama it's been ridiculous. So I would love to think that, just like when a new coach takes over, kind of wants new batch of people.
Mm-hmm.
When the team is moving in a different direction on the field, you got to kind of wash out some of the old stuff and replace it, with people who are moving in that direction. Hopefully, the team just came from Oakland, and a lot of these people who were working for the team been with the team forever, right? Long tenured employees. So, hopefully it's just a thing where, hey, maybe they just want to get younger. They want to get faster. They want to get stronger. They want to get more entertainment based.
Okay, now that makes sense. The entertainment based part makes sense because we live in the entertainment capital of the world.
Yeah.
And it's not like it is in Oakland, where in Oakland it's a lot different than Las Vegas.
Man, you're thinking about football, man. The Raiders' business in Oakland was football, right?
That's all it was.
Yes. Here's a lot more going on. So, I think that it's a possibility that maybe the old vision is changing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Ventrelle, Danny accused Mark Davis of a hostile work environment and fired him out of retaliation because he reported it to Mark Davis and he didn't like the reaction that Mark gave him. And then he reported it to the NFL, who's now looking into these allegations. And that's when Mark let him go. So I wonder, just knowing the history of Mark Davis and his father, what they've meant for women's rights. And then now that Mark hired Becky Hammond, paying her over $1 million to be the Aces head coach, the WNBA team he owns, you have to wonder, I'm not saying if it's nothing substantiated.
Right.
But at the same time, the Raiders do one thing better than anybody else in the NFL. I say this in all seriousness and come off like a joke. They execute NDAs better than anybody else. They do. Do they not?
I didn't think you was going there, bro.
I'm serious.
I mean, I get it.
So I mean, and I've never heard any allegations of Mark Davis, being inappropriate in the workplace with women.
Right. Me either.
Mark's always been a stand-up guy, and I still look at him like that. I mean, I don't know what happened in there.
Yeah.
But it's not a good look.
It's not. But maybe it's rose-colored glasses, man. But I'm always just looking at the business aspect first. No facts have really come out yet. Maybe some facts will come out that will shift, the way I'm thinking about it. But when you just see a mass exodus of people like that, it would seem to me that that's something business-wise. You know what I'm saying? Like a business direction. I hope that's what it is. I would hope that, it's not the alternative, because we see how many problems that makes for
everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. It's been long rumored the NFL has been trying to push Mark Davis out. And I don't know if that actually is the case here, or if that's part of the master plan. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it's not. Someone tweeted at me, was it about Mark Davis's comments about Colin Kaepernick and the people that left didn't agree with it about potentially signing him? It has nothing to do with that.
I mean, I don't know. I don't put nothing past anything, man. Like I said, without the facts coming out, I think I have, I give myself the freedom to speculate to a certain extent. And my speculation kind of starts and ends with it being a business decision. We'll find out in the coming days and weeks and months if that's right or not. But like I say, that type of mass exodus from, one of the top jobs possible to have
in pro sports.
In pro sports, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Sounds like a business thing, and I hope it is. Like I said, when a regime changes, when the look, the model of the company changes, like there's a lot of turnover, man. There's a lot of turnover. There was
a lot of turnover in the NFL a couple weeks ago, actually last week.
Yeah.
As we recorded, the NFL draft took place here in Las Vegas.
Yes.
We were there. And let's peel the curtain back a little bit, because on Wednesday, we were in and about the city. We hadn't really seen each other in a few weeks, maybe a month.
Yeah, we've been doing a bunch of traveling, man. So that's why we ain't did no show lately. Just been on planes and all.
Yeah.
Been crazy.
And I'm walking into Circa to do something with Bleacher Report betting with my guy Greg Ivy. And I see you walking in with Fats and with Cal. And I'm like, squeeze. And you look and you're like,
this fool doing here?
and that's where we kind of finalized the deal with our new sponsor, the Liquids Club.
Yeah.
Best water on the market. And you were down there with Kayvon Thibodeau chilling. Well, working, but chilling.
Yeah, man. He
Tell the story about how you know him.
Boy, I tell you, last week was a crazy 6 degrees of separation week for me, man.
For real.
My nephews all played AAU ball on the same team as Kayvon. I used to go to their games. And
basketball, right?
Throughout basketball, yeah. And all throughout their college careers. Now Devin and Mike Hill ended up they played at Oregon. They played on the same team with the man.
Right.
I've been watching this man play all season and never put two and two together that was the center on the AAU team from way back in the day.
Then you showed the picture, and he's just like a giant.
And they was dogs back then when they was young, yo. they used to get down, and it was just good to see him take that next step. And he's working with the water, and I was doing we was kind of shooting some documentary footage, behind the scenes footage of his path to the draft, really. And man, it was just it was an experience. Vegas just does things better than everybody else when it comes down to the entertainment aspect. This city just knows what people love.
Right.
It knows how to entertain a melting pot of people, like different genres, different kinds of people, all meshed in together, and it's always something for everybody out here. And once again, with the draft, I honestly believe with that turnout and with the effect that it had on the city, it will definitely be back.
I will say, Tennessee did a great job in 2021. I mean, they said they raised the bar, but I think Vegas took that bar, blew it out, and said, we're going to the high heavens because ain't nothing going to top this. And
yeah, man, because if you just look at the environment for partying out here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's so many hotels, it's so much space and availability for different activations, right? If you have the type of resources, set producers, production crews that the NFL has, or a company like that, you really could turn Vegas into your city for your event. And the NFL did that. I think it was a beautiful partnership. Congratulations to Kayvon. Congratulations to Malik. A lot of the other guys that got drafted, man. That's I know you say it, and to be honest, my mom says it. That's one of the most exciting things in sports.
Aside from my team playing in the Super Bowl, it's my favorite NFL event there is. And I was growing up, I was a huge draftnik. That's what they call it. People, I mean, the draft originally was on Sundays and Mondays. I would literally be, I'm sick, grandma, I need to stay home from school today. And I would stay home from school, and I would literally on a legal notepad write down every pick, if there was a trade, name, school, height, weight, position, everything.
Yeah.
And then they moved it to Saturday, Sunday, and then now where it is now is Thursday through Saturday.
Yeah.
And being there I was a kid in a candy store, and it's weird to say, but like I felt weird on Thursday night because it seemed like everybody that was in the media room, and there was probably close to 300 or 400 people in there. You seen how big it was? It was filled. It was 100% capacity. I had about like half of them coming up talking to me at one point. Just like, hey, Joe. I'm like, I don't realize I know this many people. So it felt like, in some ways, I was kind of holding court in some ways. You know, it was like a bunch of, like a bunch of people that I knew. And it's like, so took a couple out on, I believe it was Saturday night, the last night there. Took a couple out, went up to the foundation room in Mandalay Bay, and they had a good time. You know, that part was cool, but.
That's cool.
Being at the drop was cool, but like.
What happened? Y'all left me or something? Is that what you saying?
No, you were busy.
Yeah,
you left.
Whatever.
Yeah,
y'all was at Dre's, wasn't I?
No, you went to Dre's. I didn't go to Dre's.
Yeah, might have been jigging a little bit. You feel me? Hey, but you know what? What was unique for me this time around? Like I've had, cousins drafted, multiple ones, but I never was able to be around a player before and after immediately.
Right.
Like that excitement leading up to the big day. And really like not knowing where you're going. We
were texting each other during the first, like the first few picks.
Yeah, it was so like nobody really knew anything until the last minute. But just to see like, man, we started playing ball at such a young age, and that's literally the night that you dream about. Like that's when it all happens. So just to see that perspective, to be able to look, the night before, day of, day after, just to kind of see that journey, man. It just goes to show when you put in that work, and anybody that got to that stage, they put in the work.
Ton of work.
Put in
sacrifice.
The ultimate amount of sacrifice, blood, sweat, and tears to get there. So, it's such a great thing to be around from our position because you just understand the struggle. You know what I'm saying?
It's true. And let's talk about the struggle because the Raiders, some people say they won the offseason. And in part because when you signed Chandler Jones and trade for Devontae Adams, you had a pretty damn good offseason.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know what I mean? And so the Raiders didn't have picks in the first 2 rounds because of the Devontae Adams trade.
Right.
But the Raiders had 6 draft picks. Yeah. And what they did is they paired them all up. 2 offensive linemen, 2 running backs, and 2 defensive tackles.
Mm-hmm.
I like what they did. Now, their first pick, Dylan Parham from Memphis, not Mississippi, Mr. Newton, Memphis, okay? I think he comes in from day one and starts at right guard. I mean, he was an excellent pick. They came back with Zamir White from Georgia, a running back, followed by Neil Farrell, LSU defensive tackle, and Matthew Butler, who played defensive tackle at Tennessee. Thayer Munford Jr., an offensive tackle from Ohio State, was their 7th round pick, and their final pick in their draft was Britton Brown, a running back from UCLA, which I have a problem with that one, of any of them.
Do you?
I would have taken Charles Williams from UNLV. Why not take the hometown guy and give him a shot to make the team?
I mean, man, I think that they stuck to a formula of drafting best available. And true. I think that when you don't have any picks in the first 2 rounds, that's a good strategy. And those late picks, them guys also have some good track records with late picks.
They do.
They know what they're doing at the end of a draft. So I trust them because if they would have been trying to fill needs, specific needs that late in the draft, that reminds me of some old Raider-ish that never works. You know what I'm saying? So I loved how practical they were about the draft. I feel like everybody that they drafted can come in and get some snaps in camp. And if they don't, they're going to push. That's what I feel.
It's funny you say that because I was just about to ask you, is my question. What does it say about the Raiders running back room? They draft 2 of them, they sign 2 of them, and you still got Kenyon Drake and Josh Jacobs, whose 5th-year contract has not been picked up by the Raiders.
I think it's by committee, man. The whole great running back thing is just that's not a part of the NFL right now. It's the air game. They probably feel like running backs are a dime a dozen. I'm sure they feel like, because it's the truth. It's not a long shelf life. Like most running backs are not going to get to that 5th year and be as effective as they were the first 2. They got to hit every play, every single play. So you got to stack them up, you got to pile them up, and you got to see who's going to be durable. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like Josh with the injuries has become like the Draymond or Dennis Rodman with technicals. Because at the end of the day,
it's a good analogy.
He's had the same amount or less missed games in his career as most of his contemporaries. But it just seems in our head, it's just ingrained that the man is always hurt.
Well, that's because you follow the Raiders so intently. So if you go to a regular just NFL fan that just, let's say he's a Miami Dolphins fan, he'd be like, oh, Josh Jacobs is good.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't they keep him? Like, their lines suck. They're trash. No wonder he got hurt. No wonder he wasn't getting good yards per carry.
But here's another thing. That regime, the draft picks that came in from that regime, right? It may be a thing where it's like, look, man, prove it. Let us see if you're a knucklehead or not. Because the rest of them cats that came in when you came in, they was knuckleheads. So maybe that'll light some fire. You just never know. But I know there's different ways to go about the way that they're doing things. I feel like the old Raiders would have paid Josh off.
100%. They would have got the 5th-year extension.
Exactly.
They would have probably given it. He fit what Gruden liked to do.
Exactly.
And I don't know if he fits what McDaniels likes to do.
I think if he stays healthy, I think they'll keep him. If he stays healthy and he's productive, I think he'll get a contract with the Raiders. And I mean, hey, that's a good position to be in. Go out there and
earn it. Go
Get
out there
it
and earn it.
Get it in, man. Who knows? Who's to say next year this time, all 3 of them guys don't have a contract? You don't know.
You think Cleveland Farrell's going to get a contract from the Raiders?
Not really.
Okay.
But I'm not saying it's impossible. When you have a reason to light some fire under your ass, you see what you can do.
Well, I think John Abram has a legit chance. The way the NFL is going with safeties that look like linebackers,
yes,
I think Abram has a chance. You know, I didn't understand the running back situation. And another thing I don't understand, and I'm going to ask you about it a little bit, is soccer. Man, football, European football.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I like you, I'm a Manchester United fan.
Welcome to the club.
Bro.
Welcome to hell.
I just want to say something. I want to look at this camera when I say it. There is a little teeny part of me, a little bit of joy that all his teams suck right now. A little bit, but
yo, man,
some of those teams are my teams, so I don't take joy in that.
First of all,
but like Man U, the Lakers, the Dodgers were all right. But let me just ask you this. What the hell is going on with Man U? Why are they in this situation? They got Paul Pogba, but for God's sake, they got Ronaldo, Fred. What's the deal?
You got a lot of. You just named. You know what you just did? You just named off some famous names.
That's all I know. Well,
those famous names they're not a team. That's the problem. You got a list of players who have names that they've made on other teams and playing for their national team, but they haven't come together as a squad under a system. And in European football, all of these things have to be moving in the same direction. It's just like we was talking about with the Raiders earlier. I think the front office of Manchester United, they owned by the Glazers, same owner as Tampa Bay Bucks. Yeah. And look, these people make money, man. They got a money printing press, and they went to Europe. They got the biggest team they could possibly find, and they turned it into a money printing machine, right? And that has not come with winning. And now the fan base, which is one of the largest fan bases on earth, completely tired of it. Today, this was all-time low. They solidified today against a trash team.
It was kind of funny. We're watching it separately.
Trash team. This was the worst season that they've had in the Premier League. It's the worst season I've ever seen them. And it's just like you said, with the names on that roster, is absolutely ridiculous. But here's the thing. I think there's a reckoning coming because the new coach and his system, see how I can explain. He runs a 4-2-4, which means the midfielders, they really have to feed off of each other. The wingers really have to feed off of each other. The offense is based on spacing. The closest thing I can describe is the triangle in basketball, right? So you have multiple players that have to assume multiple roles in different parts of the game. And you want to take 3 or 4 players in one quadrant and kind of space that out. we don't have none of those players on this team.
Oh.
So that means there should be a huge turnover when the new coach comes in. And at this point, I don't really care about the names on the back of the jersey no more.
Okay,
like,
but
let them all go. We need a squad. We haven't had a squad in years.
wasn't part of the deal with him coming over, he got complete control of the roster?
I think so. Yeah.
And who is he? Like, I don't know anything about the guy.
He's the claim to fame is he learned under Pep Guardiola at Barcelona. And that is the absolute best coach going right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his system is tried and true. He's won in Spain, he's won in Germany, he's winning right now in England. And this guy is kind of Pep light, right? And that attacking style of play is what made Manchester United famous, and they haven't played that way in a decade.
So one of the things that you would tell me about Paul Pogba was he's a facilitator.
Yeah.
And so this, from what you're saying, just listening to you, this would fit what Paul Pogba would, his skill set better than anybody else on the current roster.
It would absolutely fit his skill set, but Ten Hag's way is grueling because you're expected to play defense out of those triangles also.
And Paul don't play defense?
It's not so much of him not playing defense, but it's a lot of work. It takes a lot of conditioning. You're going to be running around constantly. You're going to get tired. You're going to get pulled from the game. You know, these players don't like to get subbed out. But this type of grueling offense is going to cause those things. And so I don't know if, first of all, Paul Pogba's gone. He's been wanting to leave for years, and he's not coming back. They've offered him the highest contract they've ever offered anybody. He said no. It's a wrap. I don't know if his personality and the personality of the new coach is going to mesh. This coach coaches in a way where his system has proved to him in the Dutch league, which is a couple of steps under the English league, but he's won trophies there. But what you find is that the speed, the power, the fluidity of the game, it's not beautiful in England, but it's hard. It's fast. It's the most entertaining to watch because it's closer to NFL football than it is to, playing soccer in Italy or Spain or something.
Is he the right
it's
guy?
Not pretty.
Is he the right guy? Is he the guy that Squeeze would have hired?
I don't know. There's some out there. Pochettino is one. There are some other guys out there that I feel have the experience of coaching in the league with the Liverpools and the Man Cities and the Chelseas, where this guy he's like built up a storeroom of stats because he coached the best team by far in his league. It's like that team, maybe one other one, and everybody else is cut. Whereas when you come to the Premiership, you got 6 or 7 teams that are constantly battling for the top. And then on any given Saturday, Sunday, one of the bottom teams can smash you, as we saw earlier today.
Y'all should have seen him in our
goodness.
meeting today. Oh, Lord.
Ridiculous, man. And it's such a parallel between them and the Lakers this year. If you go down the Lakers roster and you start naming off people, it's like a who's who of Hall of Fame, right?
Ron,
Yeah.
Carmelo Anthony.
Never
AD.
been a team. They haven't been a team for. Now, in the Lakers' defense, a lot of that had to do with injuries and not being able to be on the court at the same time to even learn each other. But for Manchester United, man, it's about the players. It has been about the players. I don't care how good you are for Portugal or Spain or France when you're playing in the World Cup or the Euros. When you put on the red shirt, you're trash, and you've been trash for about 6, 7, 8 years.
All right, so
Trash. You hear me? Trash.
About 4 or
Everybody
5,
watching, we're trash right now.
about 4 or 5 years ago, I watched a young lad make his debut with Man U.
Yeah.
And Kalani Lua from Franchise does the main event with Griffin Kemp.
Yeah.
For Christmas this year, buys me a jersey because he's a Man U fan, right?
Boy.
Buys me a Mason Greenwood jersey.
Oh, man.
Now, mind you, I was out of town for the holidays and I came back. And when I was out of town, there was some drama that happened with Greenwood. I mean, it's not drama. It's pretty horrific if you hear the tape. He's been accused of sexually assaulting his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And that led me to, really think about something that we've talked about privately quite often is, in sports and in entertainment, there is no mentorship. There is no guidance.
Right.
You're just kind of thrown to the wolves. And you may have, like in Magic's case, he had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
As we see in Winning Time. But Michael Jordan didn't have anybody. He kind of learned on the fly. He kind of lucked up. But then you got guys like D'Angelo Russell or, even Allen Iverson, where they kind of just did their thing.
Yeah.
Now, correlating with Greenwood in mentorship, like, how do you feel about that being in your side as an entertainer?
It goes two ways, man. I think that you have to have guys that are accomplished in whatever field it is that are willing to share, but you also have to have, the new sports star or the new rapper or whoever, he has to be willing to listen also. And a lot of times it's devoid of both on both sides. You know what I mean? Because, man, you have an air of invincibility that you feel when your dreams come true and you're on top. And a lot of times you ain't trying to hear what nobody else has to say. And a lot of times you feel like, okay, this old lion right here that's telling me something. Is he an op? Like, is he telling me because he wants me to know, or is he like trying to undercut me some kind of way? And then you have some of the older guys that are kind of like, man, I'm not going to talk to him. He ain't going to listen no way. And so they don't even try, right? And I think that we're getting to a point now where it's so necessary for those who pass the torch to kind of pass the torch with some advice, right? Pass the torch with some rules and regulations. Like, look, young buck, this is the way I did it, and this didn't go right. It's not always about telling a young person what you did correctly, right? Because that comes across as you bragging about your era or where you got. But if you
tell them about it,
tell them about the mistakes that you made. It brings you down a level, to make a young person say, look, I'm not being preached to right now. This old head is just trying to give me some game. And I've found that they're much more receptive when you come from that area. So I think on both sides, there just kind of needs to be a little bit less of a tug of war, because, the talent level of some of these kids, man, some of these young men, you look at somebody like Ja Morant, like,
man,
if I'm Ja Morant, do I want anybody talking to me? I'm like going to everybody's head. Like, I'm better than Kobe. I'm better than Jordan. I'm better than who wants some? If I'm that good, like if I'm that physically talented. So, we never seen people jump this high. We never seen people running this fast. We never seen people this strong at this age. That's not easy to manage. It takes a village to manage all of that.
Right, and we see that now in the NFL with the Tennessee Titans. Ryan Tannehill, their starting quarterback, flat out said he's not going to help Malik Willis at all.
Yeah.
Brett Favre did the same thing with Aaron Rodgers initially.
Yeah.
But then that relationship got better as it went on, and there was some learning. But I think it also comes from the young buck. He's got to be humble enough.
Yeah.
So even if someone says no, to just observe, because you can learn by osmosis.
Yeah.
Just the observation and, okay, this is how he does his job, and this is what I like. I'm gonna go and attack it this way.
But there's another route too, man. I mean, I used to listen. I used to be a gopher. I was a gopher in the studio with Teddy Riley, with Brian McKnight, with DJ Quick. I used to just bug everybody. I used to bug them and bug them and bug them. I asked questions over and over and over again. They would send me to go get a drink or coffee or something and lock the studio behind me so I can't get back in. So I'm like standing out there with a bottle of water, banging on, trying to get back in. But after a while, those in that position, they admire the persistence,
right?
The consistency, the trying to learn. So, you just got to come off the ego, man. And at the time, I knew I was talented. I knew I was a good songwriter. I knew I was on my way. But I just had no ego with them guys. Like, you are at the top level of where I'm trying to get. Anything possible that you can tell me about this journey is going to be extremely valuable to me. So I need to listen to it. And if I get on your nerves, oh well, I'll be back here tomorrow anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, sometimes that's gonna backfire on you. Sometimes people say, yo, I don't want that kid back in. Give me somebody else to be the PA.
He's an irritant.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, whatever. You gotta take that shot. And I wanted to take the shot with as much information as possible. So I tell all the young cats as much as I can, man. Even if you want to roll your eyes, like listen to them old heads because they've been there already.
To your credit, you as an artist, as a friend, as a brother, you do mentor people, and you do it in your own way. I've seen you talk to various athletes and entertainers and people that are trying to get in the business, and you do have conversations.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that goes to the obligation. I think there is an obligation. In fact, I've long said that an athlete in college or when they get into the pros and whatever level, minor league baseball or whatever, G League, there needs to be basically a class that helps you manage your finances.
Yes.
Helps you learn how to deal with groupies.
Yes.
And most importantly, and I say this because this probably is the most important thing, and this is free game, learn how to deal with your family and friends by telling them no.
Absolutely. Because
that is the number one thing that brings athletes and entertainers down, is they feel this money is going to continue to come in and continue to come in. There's only a short window for you to maximize your earning potential. And hey, Squeeze, I'm starting a business. I need 200K. Squeeze, hey, I didn't pay my rent and my car note the last 3 months. I need like 15 G's.
Man, and then what happens is being in that position, especially if you black, you from the hood, it's so glorious to finally be in the position to be able to bless your people. Right. So then they start tugging on your heartstrings and you start feeling like you're obligated. No, you're not obligated. What you should be doing is using your platform to like teach somebody how to fish. Right. It's not about supplying everybody with fish. So there's where we need to differentiate what real help is. Right. I feel like an athlete needs to understand what is the word help? What does that entail? So when the family member comes and says, hey, I need $15,000 for this, or I need this for that, I'm not giving you that, but you can work by doing this and maybe you can make that.
Well, even to that point, and if you say no, you sold out, you forget the hood, you move out the hood, you get a little bit of cash and you don't come back no more. Whatever. I mean, you get that. I mean, those are the things that athletes, and I think you and I both at some point in our lives have been in the same position.
Yes, for sure.
And it's just like, it's frustrating as hell.
Yeah, it is. And being a young person, like it's still frustrating at this age, but being a young person, when this first happened, this is first happening for you, like I look at these cats that got drafted, like the work is just now about to start.
This was just the tip of the iceberg. You don't have no idea what's about to happen.
Like the work is about to start, and it's not about that first contract. It's about the second one
and the third.
So there's so much that I wish that like you said, I wish there was a course or some kind of, like, I know they used to do the rookie symposium. Do they still?
Yeah, they still do, but it's been kind of I know people that walked out of it, like literally. And here's the thing, and I thought this for a long time. I thought that if a kid went to college to play football or basketball, right, they should have been mandated to redshirt, and it's part of that redshirt because it gets them more physically ready to play the sport, but also more mentally ready. And in that redshirt year, that's where you have that finance 101 for athletes.
Sweet.
Where you have groupie, you deal with that, and you have former groupies go. And people can say what they want about her, but I respect her. Brittany Renner.
You respect her?
I do, because let me tell you why.
Yeah, please explain. Please explain.
Deion Sanders.
Wait. Can we play some? Do we have any I need violins?
No, I'm not gonna play. No, there's no violin music.
All right.
No, what I'm saying is Deion brought her into Jackson State to educate the athletes. But this is what women that look at athletes and entertainers, and I want to say hunt them down. This is what we look for. She's actually really telling athletes and even using her platform to do that to an extent. Now, she still does it, and that's her business. But she at least is educating a little bit. You have someone like that go in and teach or be a part of the class for a couple weeks. This is what we're doing. We know what hotels come in.
Sit your ass on Instagram. You can find all the hoes. That's not hard. Is that hard to do? Come on, man.
I'm just saying, but in a class that is full of freshmen in college, someone like that would make a lot of sense. I used her as an example.
Bros, y'all need to stop with these little groupies on Instagram. They ain't nobody. They ain't got nothing. They moving just because y'all hit the like button. Like, so you can hit the like button without doing nothing else. You don't have to go home with the girl. I mean, you've been looking at this girl for the last 3 or 4 years, and she would never say a word to you. You've been all in her DMs. She ain't never said a word back. But on draft night, she just happens to be at your party, ready to talk to you. You gonna talk? Oh man, come on. You need to say, hey, security, come get her and take her over there. Bro, I'm just
Take her to the elevator at Dre's.
Man, get her out of here. Like, some of this stuff, I get what you're saying, but some of this stuff is just, come on, it's just ridiculous, man. Y'all can see this game. You could be 14, 15 and see this
but
whole
okay, but here's the thing.
Instagram
Some
game,
people
man.
don't understand that. Some people are
Why?
naive. Just some people are. Look, people are raised different. Some people believe that, okay, I want to be with one woman and have a monogamous relationship and get married and yada. Some people don't want to get married. They want to have lots of women. Some people are just like, hey, it is what it is. It's how they're mentally ready for it. And some people aren't mentally ready for it. Look at this is I use LeBron as an example. This is my concern for LeBron. He wants to play with Bronny his rookie year, correct? Eric made that. It's well documented, right?
Yeah.
LeBron or other athletes on the team, there's a road phone.
Come on, man.
What I'm not saying LeBron does. I don't know because I don't know him like that. But
Come on, man.
There's the road phone. And what are you going to tell your son? No, son, you go to the room and you do this, and then you're dipping out to whatever. I'm just saying.
Yo,
like,
man.
I'm
I think you went just too
practically.
deep. Just too deep.
I'm just saying
the
there needs to
man
be
wants to.
better
Okay,
mentors.
you know what? I would love to jump off my roof and fly to Red Rock. That's just like him saying I would love to play with my son.
But he's going.
Everybody's taking this too. Yeah, but it's like, if he doesn't, like, who cares? But you don't even know. You don't know that. Nobody knows anything. Anything can happen tomorrow. Injury, retirement,
Hope not.
any kind of anything can happen tomorrow. So this whole Bron playing with Bronny thing, I mean, I get it. It's news, it's fodder, it's something to talk about. But I don't think it's that serious.
I would love to have been able to play ball with Peanut or Joey.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you would too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But see, you have an opportunity to do something. You can make music with your son
and doing it. Yes.
right? You can educate him on various parts of that, right?
For sure.
Okay.
Yes.
That's my point. There's a mentorship there. I know LeBron will do that with Bronny, and
definitely.
But I'm just saying that there is some tricky aspects to it that no one talks about, and that's a part of the NBA lifestyle.
Yeah, but I mean, and here's the thing, right? The relationship that I have with my son now
is
it's not the same as the relationship that I had when he was in high school. You know what I'm saying? It's a totally different thing now. And if they play together, they're playing together as men, as professionals. It's a father and son thing, but like, you can't tell. Bron can't tell Bronny what to do when he's a grown man with an NBA contract.
Let me ask you a question. Does Script Rock try to tell you what to do?
He tries.
Okay, then. But that's my point.
We can't do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? No more than his dad could when he got grown. So, I don't think that would be a blessing to be able to say that you had that much longevity.
100. No, I hope he
play professionally with your son. Like,
I hope he does.
That's a big deal. I would love to see it happen.
And I just think there is a potential for something to go wrong, and that's all I'm saying. And
disagree.
We'll see.
Lakers need to draft Bronny, and let's just have us a good time.
I'm with that.
I don't know if we're gonna win no ships like that, but I mean, we're gonna have us a good time for sure.
Well, it was good to hang out with you today, bro.
Yeah, man, it's been a minute, man. Yo, we be moving, man. You know what? Listen, one thing I know for sure is, if I didn't know before, if you want to be great, if you're trying to make your own company, if you're trying to kick the door down in sports media or whatever it is you're trying to do, it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of help. It's going to take a lot of resources. It's going to take a lot of prayer.
A lot of patience.
We in the midst right now, baby. But, we blessed, man. We blessed to be moving. We blessed to still be in business. We came through COVID. We've come through John Gruden and Ruggs and all of it. We've come through it, man. Come through it. And bouncing back, just like the Strip.
For real. For real. And bouncing back with the Liquid Club's water, too.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Look, this is it. Changing the water game.
100%.
Changing the water game. Look out for the Liquids Club water. We got a lot of programs coming out. hydrate youth sports. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
This right here, no lie, if you know me at all, you know I do not like water. Other than the shower or the beach or the pool, I do not like water.
Yeah, man, it's been a while since I seen dude with a Coca-Cola in his hand.
I've been drinking the electrolytes religiously. This is my favorite one. I want to try the oxygenation one.
Yeah.
And then they have a
the alkalinity, man.
Alkalinity is good too.
pH 10 plus.
You don't get that anywhere.
Nah, and it's a big deal. It's real. You can test it. And it's straight from the top. Got their own plant, everything. This is not a Coke byproduct or Pepsi byproduct or anything. It's minority owned, and we working, man.
For real. If you want some water, right now go to theliquidsclub.com. That's a spot to get it from. Get it shipped directly from Amazon straight to your crib. And man,
gonna be doing a lot of work, man. We're gonna be doing a lot of work. We've connected with a lot of athletes, a lot of musicians, a lot of people out there that are getting down with this water situation, man. This is the desert. Lake Mead is drying up. You ain't seen?
Man, they're finding bodies and everything.
Oh, see, that you could have left that part out.
Just saying. That's why I'm drinking liquids, because I ain't drinking Lake Mead water.
My goodness.
That's it this week for the Franchise Show. We're back again next week.
Yeah.
Lord knows what we're going to talk about.
Boy, I hope it's not the Raiders.
Yeah, me too. That's it. We'll check you again next week. It's the Franchise Show. Check out the main event, UFC. New show.